I said, "No pink plates." The sound of shattering glass sliced through the penthouse like a thunderclap. Every head snapped up, the silence heavier than marble. The maid froze mid-step, her eyes wide as the shards skittered across the floor. And there stood Sloan Marshan, CEO and queen of controlled chaos, who didn't flinch, didn't even blink. Just let her gaze fall on the trembling woman and repeated, "Cold as winter." I specifically asked for white with gold trim. The server scurried away, mumbling apologies, as if her entire livelihood depended on this china, which honestly, it probably did. Across the echoing room, this vast, toyless living space where even laughter was rationed, 8-year-old Isa, perched on the edge of an armchair, feet crossed, dress unwrinkled, hair perfect, her face blank as fresh snow. "You know we have guests tonight," Sloan said, crossing the expanse, her heels ticking like an expensive metronome. "Don't embarrass yourself." Isa just nodded, quietly, like she was reciting a creed. No loud voices, no weird questions, no hiding under tables, and definitely no complaints about Miss Claudia leaving. Claudia, the 7th nanny that year, had ghosted just 2 hours earlier. Leaving not a note, just silence. Isa didn't protest, didn't beg. "I already knew she'd leave," she murmured, eyes fixed on the rainy clouds rolling in over Manhattan. There was no point arguing with someone who'd already left you in their mind. Sloane's phone buzzed, of course. She snatched it up, voice clipped. "You've got to be kidding me. The board moved the quarterly up to 6? I'm not ready." She glared at Isa. "Don't touch anything. Don't talk to anyone. I'll have someone watch you until I get back. And no, you're not a baby. But just don't." Sloane was out the door, halfway through her call before Isa could say another word. So, Isa sat alone in the lobby, knees hugged to her chest, the rain painting silver needles on the glass doors. She ignored the concierge, ignored the doorman, the security guard with his awkward offer of cocoa. But she noticed the man with the mop bucket, a single dad, rolled sleeves, worn boots, hands built for fixing things life broke. He didn't say anything at first, which, honestly, is why she looked up. "Rough day, huh?" he finally asked, his voice a low rumble, more comforting than cocoa. Isa said nothing, so he crouched, careful not to track dirt on the marble. "You look like someone told you the tooth fairy got audited." Still nothing. He smiled, stood up, about to walk away, when something in his mop bucket caught her eye. A plush turtle. Battered, but hanging on. "Where did you get that?" Isa's voice was barely a whisper. "Found him behind the vending machine. Poor guy must have been stuck since winter." He held it up. Isa stared. Then, before she could help herself, stood and reached out. He handed it over. "He looks lost," he said. She hugged it to her chest, and for the first time in weeks, her eyes glistened. "Thank you," she whispered. "What's his name?" the janitor asked. "Walter," she answered. "Solid name. Better than Mr. Mop," he joked, nodding at his bucket. Isa actually smiled. That's when the elevator dinged, and out came Sloane, heels striking the floor with that CEO rhythm, still on a call, but stopping dead at the sight of her daughter beside a janitor holding a stuffed turtle. "What's going on here?" she demanded, phone lowering. The janitor straightened. "Evening, ma'am." She looked upset. "I just thought. I didn't authorize you to talk to my daughter." He met her gaze, calm. "She spoke to me." Isa clutched Walter tighter. "Who are you?" "Liam Hayes. Night maintenance. I don't recall hiring you." "I'm not hired by you. The building contract's out. I just clean." Sloane's jaw tightened. "Come, Isa." Isa hesitated, then walked to her mother. But her eyes lingered on Liam. "Say goodbye," Sloane prompted. "Thank you for finding Walter," Isa said. "Anytime, kiddo. He's got a soft heart for people who need it," Liam replied. As the elevator doors closed, Isa did something she hadn't done in weeks. She called out, "Good night, Mr. Liam." The staff froze, shocked at the sound of her voice. "Upstairs." Sloane's tone turned scalpel sharp. "You didn't speak to anyone else, right?" Isa shook her head. "No, Mama." Sloane brushed a phantom crease from her sleeve. "Good. People like that don't belong in our conversations." Isa hugged Walter tighter, and the silence between them was thick as concrete. Next morning, Liam came in early. Rain still glistening on the sidewalk. Gus the concierge greeted him. "You're the talk of the building. The kid called you by name last night." People noticed. Liam laughed. "Didn't know kindness came with surveillance." Gus's eyes dimmed. Everything comes with surveillance. Even kindness. Liam knew that tone, from the days he wore a badge, not a janitor's shirt. Later, Sloane barked at her assistant for a replacement nanny. Not tomorrow, today? No. ISA doesn't need another language. She needs stability. Frustrated, she turned and saw ISA in the hall, barefoot. Walter in her lap, smiling at someone. Liam, tightening a vent with a screwdriver, grinned. Careful, he gets fussy if you forget to say goodnight. ISA giggled. He likes warm blankets, too. Sloane cut in. Excuse me. Liam stood, unfazed. She just needed a smile. Sometimes that's all it takes. Sloane's voice turned arctic. If I need therapy, I have world-class professionals on speed dial. I don't need a mop-wielding philosopher. Just doing my job, Liam replied, pushing his cart away. That night, ISA lay in bed, Walter at her side. Sloane on the edge, scrolling her tablet. Did you finish your reading? Piano? Gratitude journal? ISA nodded. I'm grateful for Liam. Sloane's fingers froze. The man with the turtle? He talks like he doesn't want anything. You're not to talk to him anymore. Why? He's not part of our life. He doesn't belong here. ISA's voice cut sharp. Neither do I. Sloane blinked. The words landing like a punch. Lights out, she muttered, kissing ISA with routine, not affection. Outside, her breath caught before she walked away. 2 days later, ISA found Liam fixing a light on the 21st floor. She handed him a drawing, a turtle, a mop, and a tall, frowning woman. Is that me? No, your sidekick. He smiled. Walter will be honored. She hesitated. You can't keep it. Mama says our worlds don't mix. Then I'll borrow it for a while, he whispered. You're a good kid, ISA. Don't shrink your heart for anyone who forgets how to see it. A tear slipped down her cheek. Liam just stayed, present, silent, the kind of presence that's touch enough. High above, Sloane stood at the observation deck, staring at photos. ISA at a gala, stiff and joyless. ISA laughing at the beach, back before the company IPO. Her CFO, Evelyn, joined her. You keep looking for your daughter in those photos. Maybe try seeing her in real life. Sloane said nothing, but something broke open inside her. Back in the janitor's closet, Walter had a new job, sitting on a shelf next to a note. Never underestimate the quiet ones. They listen best. And Liam looked out at the city, unaware that a storm far greater than last night's was coming. But for the first time in years, someone had drawn him. Soon, Sloane found herself with no options. Evelyn nearly spilled her coffee when Sloane asked her to let Liam watch ISA for a few hours. You mean the janitor? You've spent your career keeping people like him out. Now you're handing him your daughter. I'm buying time. Claudia's gone. ISA won't talk to anyone else. Liam didn't hear his name, just his pager. A burst pipe or a rich person's odd request. Today, the latter. Sloane met him outside her office, straight to business. I need a favor. ISA won't speak to anyone, but she talks to you. I didn't ask her to. That's why I'm asking you now. I'll pay. This isn't about money. Then what? He met her eyes. Sometimes, people just need someone who doesn't leave. She opened the playroom. ISA was building a city out of tiles. When she saw Liam, she lit up, just enough to make every wall Sloane had ever built tremble. Hours passed, awkward at first. Liam just sat and watched ISA build. You ever build a fort? Only the kind made of couch cushions and parental regret. ISA giggled. This one has a secret door. Secret doors are important, Liam said. Mine's jazz music. Is that why you hum sometimes? You caught me. They both laughed, and something broken let out a sigh. That night, Sloane returned to find ISA and Liam snapping fingers to a soft jazz beat, no iPad in sight. No forced posture, just a child being a child. Sloane stood frozen, wondering if she was watching a stranger heal her daughter or her daughter finally come alive. After that, things changed. Liam kept coming back, not as a babysitter, but as someone who saw ISA for who she was. By week's end, he brought old books, jazz records, a globe. Why do you read so much? ISA asked. Because stories know how to stay, even when people don't. One night, Sloane listened at ISA's door, heard laughter, music, a gentle voice sang. You're not hard to love, kid. You just needed someone to see you before you were perfect. For the first time in months, Sloane didn't feel like the richest woman in the building, just the one with the most to learn. And that's the thing, you know? Sometimes, the person who sweeps the floors winds up turning the whole world upside down. Sometimes, the quiet ones start the loudest revolutions. ISA's laughter returned. Sloane's armor cracked. And Liam, the janitor with a broken past, helped everyone remember what it felt like to belong just by staying. So let me ask you, where do you think real change starts? In the boardroom or down in the basement, where someone finally listens? Drop your answer below, because I read every comment. And if this story made you feel something, hit that subscribe button for more true tales about second chances and finding family in the most unlikely places. Take care of your story and of each other.